Welcome to SVG-TV News for Tuesday, September 26, 2017. I am Jennifer Richardson with the details. The homicide count for St. Vincent and the Grenadines is now at 31. The latest homicide victim is Wendell O'Neill of Vermont, who was gunned down in broad daylight today in the vicinity of the Leeward bus terminal in capital city Kingstown. 2 other persons received gunshot injuries in the incident and have been hospitalized. On Monday night, a security officer was also found dead with chop wounds to his neck at his home in Fairburn Pasture. Sharon Garway has more on these incidents in this report.
With 7 persons here killed over a 5-day period, strong concerns have been expressed over the growing number of the nation's homicide count, which now stands at 31. On Monday, September 25th, just before 8 p.m., 35-year-old Irona Bascom was gunned down in the Vermont area of Francois. According to a report from the police, Bascom and another male were walking along the road when 2 masked gunmen opened fire at them. Bascom received gunshots to the head and chest and died on the spot, while his friend was shot in the back, but is now a patient at the Milton Cato Memorial Hospital. Relatives of the deceased say Bascom was an easygoing young man and expressed concern over the gun violence in their area.
I was at home when I heard the gunshots, and then somebody messaged me and told me that he was the one who got shot. When I came down, I saw his body right down on the road there. I couldn't see his face, just his back. His head was down and his feet was turned upwards. Too much violence in St. Vincent. Well, it's really bad, and I believe that other people might get killed because it's like a killing spree. Yeah, I think it's time because God is coming soon and we need to change our lives.
To me, he was a very nice person to me. You understand? Not for other people, but to me, he was a very nice person to me. If you ask me if you do anything for me, first what you done for me. You know what people say, you're a bad person and this and that, you know what I mean? I can't say anything, see. You understand? But people have said bad and terrible, they deserve that. But to me, I think it is what kind of that.
So he lived in Barbados for a while?
Yeah, the matter of fact, he grew up in Barbados for a long period of time. You know, so he come back here a few years well, working in the local land and stuff like that. So
he was a laborer?
Yes, please.
So how do you feel about the crime that is occurring in Vermont?
I feel really upset about them things because when I go places, everybody says Vermont again. You found Vermont and this and that. It means you get Vermont a bad reputation otherwise. You know, so if any Prime Minister who does something to this and police and so to cut up and kind of crime rate of savings in the Grenadines right now. And it's really nice.
The 6th homicide victim is 56-year-old security guard Roland Cunningham. Reports are that around 10 p.m., Cunningham was discovered dead at his doorstep with a chop wound to the side of his neck. The latest gun incident occurred in broad daylight today around 1:30 p.m. at the Leeward bus terminal in capital city Kingstown, which resulted in the death of another youngster, Wendell O'Neill, whose brother was gunned down on Friday night in Vermont. According to reports, O'Neill was sitting along the Leeward bus terminal with friends when a light brown Nissan car drove by and one of the 2 occupants exited the vehicle with a green mask on with a firearm. The assailant began to fire shots, which resulted in the death of O'Neill. 2 other persons received gunshot injuries, including a female who is said to be in critical condition at the Milton Cato Memorial Hospital. Just behind of me is the latest murder in the Vermont community. The number of murders in St. Vincent and the Grenadines has the police that is coming up there busy as ever. We just only hope that they continue to work with the community to curb crime. Reporting for SVG Television News, I am Sharon Garway.
And Vincentians are expressing concern over the recent killings that have been occurring in the country. SVG-TV News took to the streets of capital Kingstown today to get the views of the people on the issue.
When one does not feel secure, when the state cannot secure its citizens, then one has serious concern. So it's alarming, it's frightening, and needs to be addressed.
You're getting dead with your mouth. When the mouth are run, you're getting your dead.
Gun violence going on all about. In Jamaica, I got an article where how much? 114 murders in 20 days. What is in St. Lucia today? I got a text, 40 murders in St. Lucia. So what's the story here? Mr. Chastain got in there, he campaigned on it, and now it's worse than ever.
I'm here and visiting from London. And honestly, it's driving me crazy because I want to come home and live. But what the government doing? Government have a lot to do that. Because they can enforce law and they can enforce anything to stop people from doing what they're doing. They can. It's simple. All they have to do, introduce hanging them again.
It's very dangerous for all of us. So just have to just, focus and let the young people them know, read plenty and so on, and just stop the violence against women and everybody. Yeah.
Tell them start shoot out the people and them and have love and respect for them every day. And it's supposed to keep together because it is one nation of people. It's supposed to stop the violence and take a more school interested in the studies.
As declared by the United Nations, the 25th of each month is designated as Orange Day as part of efforts to raise awareness and take action to end violence against women and girls. To this end, the Junior Council of the Girls Guide Association of SVG has taken the charge to get their members as well as the general public more involved in the initiative. On Monday, September 25th, the association hosted the inaugural Orange Day public speaking competition at the Girl Guides headquarters. Nikita Tony has more in this report.
And on the topic, domestic violence and sexual violence are among some of the most human rights violations here in SVG. Discussed, 7 members of the Girl Guides Association of SVG competed in the inaugural Orange Day public speaking competition hosted by the Junior Council of the GGA SVG at the Girl Guides headquarters on Monday evening. Coordinator of the event, Guider Michaela Cadogan, pointed out that the event seeks to advocate an end to violence in every form, especially against women and girls.
This is an important topic, and we as a female-driven organization, we see the importance of having this competition and would like to basically show what the next generation has to say about an important issue that is affecting Vincentian society.
Also giving remarks at the event was the Minister of National Mobilization and Gender Affairs, Frederick Stevenson, who commended the association for its efforts in advancing the discussion on domestic violence.
And we've seen the troubling trend in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and we have to ask ourselves, what more can we do? What can we do as a nation? What can we do as a people? And I believe that these sort of interventions will help the ministry and the nation to ensure that we put a halt on the crime and violence in St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
The results and awards for last evening's competition went as follows. The Rochelle Ford Orange Day Award went to Anthony Coffey of the No. 1 Kingston Guide Company.
Simply put, it is very evident that these problems exist, but fear and bribes are the driving factors why most women are not reporting these horrendous acts of abuse.
With Patricia Stowe of the No. 3 Ranger Guide Unit taking the Rayshawn Brown Award for Advocacy.
Human rights were violated, and she has the scars on her body as a reminder of that petrifying day. This woman could have been you or your mother or your sister. It can happen to anyone.
Representing the No. 1 Kingston Guide Company, Nia McKenzie walked away with the Sonia Young Award for Excellence.
Violations of human rights not only inflict great harm and suffering on individuals, they tear at the fabric of entire societies.
The other competitors were Zyda Davis of the No. 3 Kingston Guide Company, Misha Young of the No. 28 Kingston Guide Company, with Alyssa Davis and Lanique Cupid representing the No. 29 and No. 16 Kingston Guide Companies respectively. Nikita Tony reporting for SVG-TV News.
The HIV/AIDS unit in the Ministry of Health is seeking to integrate their work into the nation's primary health care services. That's according to the director of the HIV/AIDS unit, Firosa Roach, as she spoke on the unit's strategies in tackling the issue of HIV/AIDS as well as stigma and discrimination. Roach stated that the unit has had some success over the years, but added that there is room for improvement, and as such is aiming at integrating the unit's services with the primary healthcare system. She highlighted a few advantages of this move.
Integration will create the opportunity to increase access, to improve the quality of care, reaching a wider population and strengthening our healthcare system. We are thinking about integrating HIV into 6 health centers. We want to pilot in 6 health centers. And as a result, Dr. Jean-Marie, a consultant from PAHO, he is the PAHO Regional Advisor on Communicable Diseases. He was in country last week from the 12th to the 15th of September to provide technical support.
Roach added that a representative from the Pan American Health Organization was recently in SVG to assess the capacity of the primary healthcare system and explained the John Snow tool which was utilized.
What he did basically was he met with key stakeholders from the Ministry of Health. We visited the 6 health centers that were earmarked for integration. We also visited private health facilities using a John Snow tool. That was the assessment tool. He used that tool to look at the readiness of these health facilities for integration. That is a tool that will look at the capacity of the health center for integration. It will look at leadership. It will look at human resources. It looked at the capacity of the physical capacity of the health facility itself to carry out HIV/AIDS services.
In relation to discrimination and stigma, Roach explained how the integration of the health services will assist in this area.
We are hoping that integration into primary health care will be one of the strategies for addressing stigma and discrimination, because when you visit a health center, you will visit and you have all your services. So no one will know if you visit if you come to the child health clinic, provider will talk to you about HIV, you can get your testing done. You visit the antenatal clinic, you can get your HIV testing done. Once, if you're positive, you'll be referred immediately to care and treatment.
So there's not a specific or designated room that would be used?
No, because we really want to try and address that issue of stigma and discrimination, and we believe that integration is one of the ways to do that.
Annually, some 20,000 persons regionally participate in the CIBC First Caribbean International Banks Walk for the Cure, an initiative which has grown significantly throughout the years. Here in SVG, the local branch of the bank will host its 6th edition of the event this Saturday, September 30th, with participants scheduled to take part in an 8 kilometers long journey. In an interview with SVG-TV, HR Business Support Officer at CIBC First Caribbean, Jacinta Hines, who is also the walk manager, said the initiative was adapted from the bank's Canadian-based parent company, CIBC Run for the Cure. Hines added that the local event is aimed at building awareness for all types of cancers.
Happening from year on year is that it has been growing in numbers as well as the funds being raised. We had, last year we had funds almost being tripled, so it is definitely getting bigger every year. This Saturday, the assembly time is 3:30 p.m., start time 4 p.m. The registration fee is 35 EC, and groups of 10 or more, you can get it for 30 EC, and your package would include a performance t-shirt, a water bottle, complements our sponsor Flow, as well as bottled water for our participants. During the week, this week actually, we would be having our tent set up out front the Halifax branch where persons can come and register and collect their packages. And the UE Open Campus is also a registration point.
Thanking all sponsors, partners and participants for their overwhelming support over the years, Hines said the 2017 Walk for the Cure funds will go to the local Scotch organization. She is urging persons to come out and be a part of the event this Saturday.
Route begins at CIBC First Caribbean Car Park, the Leeward Highway, Lomans Leeward Anglican School, and back to the car park. And this is an 8K walk, and persons can feel free to run if they wish. And much thanks to our sponsors, both regionally and locally. The activities include interactive and cool-down sessions by fitness gurus Gary Constantine, Kian Constance, and Lyndon James. So on that note, I would like to encourage the public to come out and support Walk for the Cure 2017. Please support, and you can feel free to donate as well at our Halifax branch. It is definitely a worthy cause, so I would encourage everyone to come out on Saturday, the 30th.
Concerns have been raised about the future of Vincey Mass and of passing on the torch of responsibility to the next generation. Speaking at a symposium hosted by the Carnival Development Corporation, the CDC, on Saturday, Chairman Ricardo Adams said he is concerned with the lack of participation by the youth in such forums, despite many efforts to engage them, and called for more to be done to attract their attention in such important forums.
Special efforts this year to reach out to the community college and some of those organizations. But it is something that concerns me deeply, because if we stood up here and took a picture of a group photo and we compared it to the group photo from last year and from the year before and from the year before, I think 90% of the people would be the same. And so it is something we have to figure out how to do better. And I think coincident with that is what we have to do better also with Vincey Mass, because I'm sure if one of the young hot private promoters was having an event today, we'd see all the under 35 people lining up to attend that event, even if he were charging for them to go to it. So what is it that we as the Vincey Mass practitioners are doing that we ought not to be doing, or what are we not doing that we ought to be doing to reach out to the generation for whom we're building this product?
Adams, however, expressed gratitude to those who attended, noting that it is their view that would help to take Vincey Mass forward.
Those are my concerns. I'm very happy for those who came, and I just want to encourage us all. We're going to discuss some of the issues, some of the shows that came in, some of the shows that went out, what we can do better, how we can make the shows more attractive, how we can make the Vincey Mass package more attractive, what we can do in terms of marketing, etc. And I want to encourage all of you to give us your frank feedback. We're going to be respectful here today. We're going to have moderators who are going to ensure that we respect each other's opinions, because at the end of it, what a lot of it is our opinion on the way forward. It is not an absolute truth. There's nobody up here who's going to be holding a big stick to beat anybody for saying anything. We want you all to express your opinions, express them frankly, express them respectfully, so that at the end of it, we can come out with something that represents the view of the majority of people as to where we take this carnival that we say is the hottest carnival in the Caribbean. Thank you.
Also speaking at the symposium was Minister of Culture Cecil Mackey, who stated that it is necessary for such a symposium to be a yearly event in order to chart a way forward for Vincey Mass.
And I think that we have to confirm this morning with the CDC that this must, underlining the word must, be an annual feature on their program of operation, that we must come together soon after Carnival so that we can review what would have transpired in the year just completed, that we can analyze the data that is placed before us, that we can plan for next year's festival, which would include the necessary reforms, adding new initiatives to the program so that we can present to the general public what we would have got in terms of feedback from you. And the whole idea is that we make Vincey Mass an even better product than it was the previous year. And I think we can all commit to that process this morning.
The youth are being encouraged to utilize their knowledge and skills to take the agriculture sector forward. This encouragement comes from business consultant Dr. Jules Ferdinand as he spoke at a seminar hosted by the Center for Enterprise Development, the CED, at the Villa campus of the Community College last Saturday. The seminar is a follow-up to part 1 of the Business Awareness Startup Seminar held in August and is geared towards energizing participants, particularly those who have graduated from the primary and post-secondary institutions. Speaking to the participants, Dr. Ferdinand used the example of entrepreneur Michael Davey and encouraged them to use their skills and knowledge to seize opportunities in the agriculture sector.
A lot of people don't realize Michael Davey, when he came from university with his first degree, was teaching at St. Joseph's Convent and growing chickens as a sideline. And then it got to the time where he realized that he could make more money from his chicken project than from teaching. With a university degree, he gave up teaching and concentrated on taking care of chickens. He was making more money from his chicken project than from teaching. Don't underestimate the power of agriculture and what agriculture can do. There's a lot of money in agriculture, but we have to change our mindset. This generation, these young people, need to look differently at agriculture. Yes, your aim, your intention might be developing your skills in information technology. You would be surprised how much information technology is now used in agriculture. Yeah. Use this skill, but link it to agriculture.
Dr. Ferdinand further encouraged the participants to come up with new ideas and thinking in order to harness the potential found in SVG's natural resources.
Projects in arrowroot and projects that will focus on the marine life around St. Vincent and the Grenadines. I would love to see persons like you take your ideas and look differently. Look at the sea in terms of what potential is there to develop business. There are businesses that are waiting there for us to develop based on pharmaceuticals extracted from the sea. If you have that kind of interest, if you have that kind of passion, let's go for it, man. Let's make the thing happen. Don't just let the idea be there. Give it an opportunity to germinate and to grow. It will not be easy. We don't like things that come easy. We want to struggle. So we will struggle. We will do what we have to do. We will be honest in doing it. And we will generate wealth from agriculture and from fisheries by extension.
The Argyle International Airport Incorporated, the AIA, will host St. Vincent and the Grenadines' first Port Resiliency Program, PREP, in a workshop on Wednesday, September 27th and Thursday, September 28th at AIA. This is an initiative of Outreach Aid to the Americas, OAA, and its affiliate America's Relief Team, ART, along with iOS partners headquarters here in SVG. It is anticipated that over 40 airport officials and staff, first responders, including law enforcement and health personnel, and representatives of non-government organizations will all participate in the training sessions. These sessions will include topics on improving preparedness for disasters, hazard and risk assessment, aircraft crash impact and response emergency communications, and taking care of employees and families. Prime Minister Dr. Rav Gonsalves will declare the workshop officially open on Wednesday morning. AIA's Chief Executive Officer Hadley Bourne, who is among the presenters at the workshop, says they are eagerly looking forward to the recommendations and procedures that will emanate from the training workshop that would serve to enhance their preparedness and response capabilities in the event of a disaster. Chair of the Planning Committee for the upcoming workshop, OAA ART Director of CARICOM Outreach, Wesley Curtin, congratulated the government of St. Vincent and the Grenadines for recognizing the importance of the PrEP initiative. A new board of directors was elected to run the affairs of the Marioko United Friendly Society on Sunday, the 24th September 2017 at the Society's annual general meeting. Ricky Burnett has been re-elected as the president of the Society. The other members elected are Cecil Jackson, Vice President, Christy Thomas, General Secretary, Dougal James, Treasurer, Sheila Robertson, Assistant Secretary Treasurer, and trustees Trevor Jackson, Gavin Jackson, and Joel Harry. The meeting also approved the auditor's report and financial statements and the board of directors report. The membership also ratified new bylaws to give effect to guidelines issued by the Financial Services Authority, the regulatory body of friendly societies in St. Vincent and the Grenadines.